Look, I know exactly what it's like out there. You're just like, man, I've got all these piles of money and I love handguns. I just wish that they were more awesome. Well, BUL Armory has heard your cry and they have made the ultimate racer even more awesome for the year 2021. I realize it's 2022 as I record this, but this is the 2021 update to the BUL Armory Ultimate Racer. I'm David, and this is the 2021 BUL Armory Ultimate Racer. For those of you familiar with the channel, you'll know that I reviewed one of these guns last year at the beginning of 2021, and they've made a number of updates, and that's part of the reason I'm pretty excited about BUL Armory as a manufacturer, because they continually try to make their products better over and over again, and they don't wait like 5 years and milk a model and then just like, okay, here's some updates to it. They're constantly trying to make it better, and this is the result of that. So let's talk about what makes the 2021 Ultimate Racer even better than the older models. A little bit of background for those of you who are not familiar with the gun. This is an open division gun in IPSC or USPSA, and it is intended to be shot super fast using way over pressure rounds. And just like John Wick, it'll shoot 9 major, but it also shoots 9 minor right out of the box. After reviewing the Ultimate Racer last season, I decided that open division was basically the most awesome division that you could compete in, and being a competitor, you typically need 2 guns, and that's not because the old gun was gonna break. These optics on these guns will go down. It's just a lot easier if your optic goes down to just switch guns and get back into the match, rather than having to unmount an optic, remount an optic, check 0 in the function fire bay, and then rejoin the match with your squad. So what changed about the Ultimate Racer that makes it even better than it was in 2020? Now, the model that I reviewed in early 2021 was the S edition, and basically what that meant is it had a modular trigger right out of the box. Well, the 2021 version has that same modular trigger. It doesn't come with the modules for the trigger, so you have to purchase those separately, but you basically can just back out the set screw and you can swap out the face of the trigger, and that's pretty awesome. They've got a couple different curve profiles and a couple different straight profiles, so you can tune the trigger to your reach. The next thing that I actually probably appreciate the most about the pistol is they updated the manual safeties. Now, previously they ran double alpha shielded manual safeties, and those are great safeties, don't get me wrong. It's just they're a little bit too long at the front. So what BUL did is they recontoured the pads where your thumbs end up going, so they do not get in the way of your support hand at all anymore, and I really prefer this profile. The next bit that changed on the gun was the optic mount. Now, previously it was an RTS2 mount and it had one fixed position for where the thumb rest was. They called this the Evo mount, and it comes with 2 different paddles that you can bolt on. This is the one that's typically more popular in America, which promotes a more neutral grip like this. The other one has more of a forward rake where you put your finger over the guard. It works better for that. So the scope mount was upgraded, but it also takes the RMR footprint as well as the RTS footprint now. So it'll take basically any of the RTS2 footprint optics, including the Romeo Zeros. If you want a Romeo 3XL, you can do that as well. Now, previously it came with a Nikko Sterling, which was kind of like an RTS2. Now it is the BUL Armory MS2, which is RMR footprint and is more like an SRO. It's a 5 MOA dot, so it's dangerously close to the Gentleman's Choice in dot, which is a 6 MOA. Be awesome if they offered it in 8 MOA, because I think that's probably my favorite these days, but it is a very nice shape to an optic, and it actually provides a nice scope. So I don't see a reason to change it. So far, it's been pretty great. And one of the most notable features that they upgraded is they took their previous grip, which had like double diamond type texture on the side of it. It was like a checker, like a faux 1911 grip, and they've gone to more of a medium to aggressive fissure texture on the side panels. So I can tell you that it's absolutely much more aggressive. Your hand finds purchase on it. It stays planted. You don't have to use dry hands, at least while the grip is clean, but so far I'm really enjoying the new grip module. Some other notable features, and this is going to be on the older guns as well, is that the gun is a 5-inch 1911 style barrel. It's a BUL barrel with an integral compensator, which means that the compensator does not come off. You do not have to worry about the compensator working its way loose and shifting your point of aim and making recoil be all weird. Accuracy out of the gun is phenomenal, exactly like you'd expect for a gun that's offered at this price point. One thing that is notable about the Ultimate Racer is that the actual grip safety does come operational. So this is a sub pound and 1/2 trigger, and if I don't have the grip safety pressed down, you can see I can wail on that trigger and the hammer isn't going to fall. But if I put it down, there it is. So just to show you how bonkers the trigger is, the pull weight, as I mentioned, is about 1.5 pounds. So if I pull the trigger, there it is. rack the slide, and it's about like letting the button on a mouse come up to the unclicked position. Like, it is very much like double clicking a mouse is about what pulling the trigger is like on this gun. So it has an amazing trigger right out of the box, and it's ready to rock and roll. Another nice to have feature is that the gun comes with a toolless guide rod. So when you take the gun apart, you can capture your spring and it makes it very easy to reassemble. You don't have to find a paper clip or anything like that. It's just a nice feature to have. The gun comes with 270mm magazines, legal for IPSC shooting, and that is, I mean, I'm not even going to comment on how many rounds it is because it's going to depend on how you decide to mess with the springs and followers to see how many you can fit in there. But the magazines are pretty good. They're pretty reliable. And that's one thing that is notable about the BUL guns is that 2011 magazines do not work in BUL guns. You have to get the proprietary magazines. MBX makes clones of these magazines as well that are absolutely fantastic. So there are options to get magazines, but the BUL ones work just fine. If you're going to dry fire, don't dry fire using real magazines. The double alpha purple practice magazines will lock into this gun for the 2011, and that's what I do my dry fire with. It's what I'd encourage you to do as well. As far as how this gun's quality stacks up against the other gun that I have, I'm starting load development to make sure that my load works with both guns. So the brand new barrel is only about 10 foot per second faster at major velocities than my old barrel, which is nice. The new chamber is a little bit tighter, which means my dodgy reloads that didn't quite make case gauge will hang up in this barrel, which fair enough, I've got to dial in my crimp anyway. And the other big thing, and it is a very small detail, but it just kind of shows you how much they deliver on. They made the cases for the 2021 models even bigger than the 2020 models, which seems like a bad idea until you see how the case is set up. It basically can accommodate 370mm magazines. It accommodates the gun and the accessories you would tend to keep with the gun. Totally suitable for flying. It's got holes for 2 locks so you could fly with it, and I wouldn't feel bad about doing it. The case is really awesome. So the experience of when you open the box is really strong. And one of the things that stands out about this gun the most is the value. Now, if you look at like staccato lineup pistols, if you get their optics ready, like minor only compensated gun, it is about $3,600. This sells for about $3,600 right now in the US, and that's coming with an optic. It's coming with all this stuff. It's got a super compensator, an amazing trigger right out of the box, and it's only $3,600. So while I love Open Division, I also don't have piles and piles of money, and I really appreciate the value that BUL Armory comes to the market at, allowing people to access the deep end of the competitive shooting game without completely breaking the bank. I mean, it breaks the bank a little bit. I'm still limping a little bit from buying it, but at the same time, I'm still really excited about it. So that is the Ultimate Racer. You can check out my original video of the Ultimate Racer here, and you can watch lots of match video on my channel competing with this gun last year. I appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.